Andy Dick from News Radio, and also maybe Celebrity Rehab and Sober House, some of his best work. Andy fights his demons, and sometimes he's gay, and sometimes he's straight, and sometimes he's bisexual. And I asked him one time, I said, Andy, I don't understand. You have 3 kids, you have 2 baby mamas, and yet you've hit on every guy I've ever dated. And then Andy said, I know, sometimes I like being with women, and then I get bored. I just want to fuck a guy. So there is an honest answer about Andy Dick. So we were doing a college in Jacksonville, Florida. Now you have to remember, Florida is the deep south. It's not all South Beach with gay guys in thongs on fucking roller skates on Ocean Drive. That's 3 blocks of Florida. The rest of Florida can be maybe not quite as progressive as this evening. Let me put it that way. And an example is I had a woman driving me to the school for the gig, and they had just had one of their really bad thunderstorms, and she said, oh, you want to be careful around here. This is the dark area. And I said, oh, they lost their electricity? I swear to God. And she said, no. And I said, the dark area. And she goes, look around, girl. And I said, yeah, okay, maybe I've been living in California too long, but we don't talk about African-American people that way, so you're gonna have to be quiet, there's no tip, and get me the fuck out of here. But so just to remind you, she actually referred to the hood as the dark area, and I thought it was a power outage. All right, so welcome to Jacksonville, yeehaw! Okay, so anyway, I was doing the university, and at a college, sometimes you perform in the basketball court. So it's folding chairs, and they have basketball games there, or sporting events, or assemblies, but it's not exactly like a normal place to do stand-up. So Andy and I were double billing, and people pretty much knew him as this kind of sweet guy on news radio. So they asked me if I would go after Andy, and I said, no fucking way. Here's why. You can't follow a junkie. What I've learned in this business is it's too dangerous to follow a junkie. You don't know if they're going to show up. You don't know if they're even in the fucking state. You don't know if they've just peed themselves. There's too many variables. And so at the time, Andy was traveling with this band that I thought was hysterical, and they're called the Bitches of the Century. But they're way too avant-garde for a college, and they do songs like Little Brown Ring about eating out asshole. And see, I think that shit's funny too. I mean, I love it, don't get me wrong. However, maybe for University of North Florida, not so appropriate. Compared to Andy's act, I am a fucking nun, so just know that. So I said, no, I'm going to go on first, and then good luck getting Andy here. So I went out, and like I said, it was very cavernous, and I was introduced by the poor girl from the audio-visual department, who was so the inner me, like she had the unibrow, and the khakis up to here, and she was just a nervous wreck, and she walks out, and she's so nervous. I really felt bad, because in the worst intro ever, ladies and gentlemen, you may have seen here on Suddenly Susan and other shows, Kathy Griffith. All right, so whatever. So I go out and I do my 45 minutes, and I thought the audience was very nice. I mean, you gotta remember, college kids, they're fucking 18, so you gotta kind of keep that in mind. But I thought they were very nice and respectful. So then I said, thanks you guys, and get ready for Andy Dick. And I mean, get ready for Andy Dick. All right, so I walk off, and the girl from the audiovisual department meets me right there, halfway, and she goes, oh, Miss Griffin, can you keep going because Mr. Dick has not even arrived yet, and we don't know where he is. To which I said, fuck no. Only because you just never know with Andy Dick. And so I should have vamped, and the poor girl had to go out there and say, there's been a delay in the show, Mr. Dick has a... And then sure enough, you hear from the back of the fucking basketball court, I'm here, bitch! Okay, so what that tells me is, number one, Andy's here. Number two, he is fucked up. Fucked up. So I'm in fucking heaven, all right? This is my wet dream. And He runs out onto the stage, I'm here! So then one of the poor, like the freshman that was like driving me to and from the hotel, he goes, Miss Griffin, would you like to leave? I said, no, get me a Diet Coke and a cheese platter. I'm not moving. So Andy goes out, and keep in mind, they're 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, and he goes, hi everybody. I don't really have an act. Like, I know Kathy tells her stories, but I don't really have anything. And there's this uncomfortable pause. So they're looking at him like, okay, here's the guy from news radio, or I've seen him on MTV or something. And then he's, for no reason, he says to an audience full of college students, you guys are all looking at me like I'm a faggot. Oh yeah, ripples of uncomfortableness, ripples. Why do you look at me like I'm a faggot? You're the faggot! All right, I look out on the audience, and they look like the see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil fucking figurines. He's freaked these poor kids out, and they don't know what to do, and I start to hear a few people leaving, because it was on metal risers, you know? So I start to hear like a clunk, 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 because he's gone out there and he's screaming the fucking F-bomb, right? And I don't mean fuck.